And welcome, boys and girls, to another episode of Jam with Jay. I'm your host, Jay Craig, and today you will jam not just with me, but my very good friend, Mr. Alex InHerSides. Alex, how you been?
I'm doing great right now. I have a cup of coffee in my hand. So whenever I have a cup of coffee in my hand, you know that I don't hate the world as much. How about you, Jay?
I've always hated the world.
Yeah, yeah.
So no matter
So
what, whether I get my coffee, my caffeine, my alcohol, either way, I hate the world.
that is a life I do not envy.
Now, Alex, you and I have known each other for about 30 years. Um, I've known you as the Wrestling Mind before on YouTube. Uh,
Holy shit, yeah, I
yep,
forgot.
yep,
Oh
yep.
my
We're
God.
going old school, bitch. We're going old school. Uh, so yeah, basically, like everyone else, I have known you from YouTube, and later
Yeah.
on, we transitioned to Facebook to call. Now, in your time, uh, there have been rumors about you as a steroid abuser. Um, now I want you to clear the air. Do you abuse steroids?
Um, I can't say that I have abused them. I can at least say that I have tried them. Um, they really didn't work how I wanted them to. Um, I just stick to Viagra instead.
Well, did you like use like a syringe, or did you use like?
Yeah, yeah, dude. Like, I mean, I'm not as afraid of needles as other people, I guess. I wasn't, I didn't mind it.
Now,
And
where do you
it,
inject it?
well, I don't know if any of y'all, like, if you've seen me in person, you know, I have a fantastic ass. It's been able to save me from harm on many of occasions. So I had to actually avoid trying to do it in that area because I know my fantastic ass would require a very like it would need a nice syringe. You know what I'm saying? Like it would have to be one of those bigger ones, and I'm not fucking around with all that. So I just did the simple, heroin technique, belts around the arm, just doing it up.
Now, did you try inject it into your testicles? Because they do that. People do that, and it sounds very painful, but they do that.
I'm not really in a ball play like that. I know some people that are. I used to know a girl who worked in a dungeon, stepping on dudes like balls and dick and stuff like that and heels. And I don't know how that works without you damaging your shit. But I mean, more power to them. If you get off on that stuff, you do. For me, I don't. The most that I'm going to do is like slap somebody with my penis. And that's
Ah.
about it.
Well, actually, believe it or not, our good friend Ryan Carroll is into that. Not the penis slap, but the. You see, Carroll once told me that he likes it that when he's being performed fellatio on, and as he's getting blown, he likes to get hit in the nuts. Now,
See,
whether you
yeah.
choose to believe me or not, that's up to you. But I am not lying.
I mean, even if he's not into that per se, I think we can all agree, even without knowing Carol personally, that that man is into some very sick shit.
Probably. I mean, first of all, he likes to be called by a woman's name.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
still don't know why. I call him Ryan, and he snaps.
Really?
Yeah, he goes, "Don't call me that. That's my slave name." So shall we call you Carol? Yeah, of course. But that's a girl's name. It could be a boy's name too. I guess.
I'll hold out on that until I meet a guy named Carol. When I see that, I mean, we already have somebody out there named Blanket, so thank you, MJ. But I mean, when I meet someone named Carol, first name basis, I'll
That's
change
not
my
even
mind.
his first name. That's the funny part. It's his last name.
Exactly. I can't. I don't know. I can't wrap my mind around it. But Ryan Carroll is a he's an enigma.
Don't say that. To him, as a compliment.
The inner machinations of his mind shall forever remain an enigma.
Once up there like, I was called me a Jeff Hardy. He didn't call you that, Carol. Okay.
Yeah, that would imply charisma.
Which does not have. Now, Alex, you and I both know someone, a sociopath, a liar, a human scum, Sean Walsh, of course. Now, knowing that Sean Walsh is an awful human being who let Brendan Wolf cheat, who abuse women, who likes to send underage boys new photos of himself. You know all of this, yet you still talk to him.
I think I'm trying to help him. Yeah, I'm not trying to fix him. That's stupid. You gotta let somebody fix themselves, right? But I am trying to help this poor man. Clearly, he's still young. He has a lot more years left.
Have you seen him?
Time to grow and change.
Okay, a lot more time. Look, we both know Sean and his condition, and we all know that's a huge lie.
Condition.
His condition. And we all know he has a very bad neck, so his time in this world is very little. I give him about 2 minutes. 2 minutes. So, well, but continue.
If you're out there listening right now, Sugar Sean, just know that you can do whatever you put your little neck to, and you can hold the weight of the world on your shoulders, so long as you have some proper support and a back restraint. We are all here for you in any of your times of need, and no, that's about all I got. That's about all. Yeah.
A true story. We were in Jersey, and we were walking to a Walmart at 1 a.m. You know, for whatever reason, we were walking to Walmart. And as we're walking there, I knew that Sean was acting pretty funny. I kind of found out that he was getting his hives. So, at this point, I'm walking with him, making sure he does not die. Now, once we got to Walmart, he stood in Walmart for a good 5 minutes just to cool down. So our good friend Sean has a very, very fun life. But Sean, if you're listening, buddy, I somewhat like you, I somewhat support you, and I somewhat care about you. Now forgetting Sean, you're in COH.
Some would say.
Yes, some would say. Now, are the rumors true that you play politics to get your spot in the locker room?
Oh, I was waiting for more. Yes and no. Like, here's the thing. When it came to my original push, my original one back 4 or 5 years ago, that really only happened because I just got more involved. I don't think if Travis didn't know me much before that point, I would have wanted to get to know him and actually talk with him more anyway. Anybody that knows Travis, he's an easy guy to get along with and talk to. So that's at least my perspective on that. I kept on coming to him with ideas, and the thing about it is when it comes to someone coming to a car owner with ideas, based on my previous experience as a car owner, if someone's coming to me with ideas and I'm already busy running the show, and someone's trying to help, and they're not just trying to get themselves over and that's it. If they're coming to me with ideas for booking, and they're not just trying to make themselves world champion in a fucking month or something like that, that's something that you got to take note of. Like, anybody who does that stuff, you take note of those people because they obviously give a shit and they're paying attention to the show. And if you're putting that much work into the show, well, it helps to know if there are people paying attention like that. Over time, outside of just the ideas I was doing. I mean, not to fucking go on an ego trip, but I was cutting some really good promos. I was getting better with my character. I was figuring out all that type of stuff. So in that situation, no, but when it came to me returning, I would say more so yes. That was mostly because my return was based on previous experience. That was based on what people already knew about me and like where I was and where my spot was before I left. So that I would say that was more of me playing politics than anything else. But that was a situation where I don't know, I felt like I earned it at that point.
I mean, it's safe to say that at a point in your quote unquote career, get it, career, you could play politics, but to a certain extent. You know,
yeah,
you can't be like, hey, I want the world title, motherfucker. You know, you can't be doing that, you know. Well,
no.
but, like, you know, when it comes to, okay, I'm in this position, and I want to feud with this guy, or I want to feud with this guy, you know, stuff like that, you know.
That was actually something I did specifically when I was world champion. I told Travis, because I looked at the match history that was put up on the Facebook page, which, by the way, shout out to Chris for doing that, actually. I know that there's, like, heat still, whatever, but it's really cool to be able to go back and check out that type of stuff. I'm a fucking nerd for that type of shit, and it also, like, it helps out if you're playing a heel or if you're playing as a baby face, depending on what your role is, to pay attention to win-loss records. That shit's important. But I made sure when I was champion, I told Travis specifically, because I knew how long my reign was going to be and who I was dropping the belt to. I told him, give me as many title matches or title defenses as I can before then, so that I can try and give some other people some looks. And I did. And I was really happy about that. The one I'm most happy about was my match with AJ, actually, because AJ, I'd say between the time I left and the time I came back, out of all the people that I gave title defenses to that weren't on a CPV, that was he took the ball and he ran as far as his character goes. So, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Oh, don't worry. Once he hears this, he's gonna be like, "Oh, Alex praised me, fam. Hey guys, Alex yeah, he's gonna do that now."
I mean, he'll do it for as long as he'll stay awake.
Yeah, guys. You see, you don't deal with that. Oh crap, I do. Oh crap, the recording almost stopped. I should probably look at the computer screen from now on. Now, now you're known to be in a tag team or faction with one M accuracy as the Accurate Enterprise. Safe to say that the Accurate Enterprise is probably one of the best stables in COH history. Safe to say. What are your thoughts on the initial run of the Accurate Enterprise?
That was so fun. Like, I think something that that helps any group or stable is keeping it a bit smaller. You know, like 3 to 5 people.
Not 7.
And then, right, yeah. Oh boy,
we'll get to that pretty soon.
Yeah, I'm having those Kill Bill flashes right now. Oh gosh.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Don't worry.
So the initial run when it was me, Steve, and Scott it was really fun. We all knew each other. We'd all been talking for years at that point. And I think we all got a big rub off of that character-wise. I definitely did. Scott definitely did. And even Steve did, which I think that was cool as hell because it's nice to be in a situation, I guess, when you're with somebody else who's a lot more experienced than you, who's been around doing this type of stuff for longer, and people know him more, and then you're being looked at all like equals and on same playing field. It expanded my character a lot. It allowed me to really tap into um, sort of the crazier side of me, the real crazy side, not like a fake putting it on for the camera thing. Um, it helped in every way possible, and it was a nice little slice of something new when I think at the same time the OBN was still doing its thing, and there were some other like groups or factions that were before us, but I think up until like the OBN and Accurate Enterprise, there wasn't a group that had done more or had been in as many storylines. So it was fucking fun. But as you know, some things change.
Oh yeah, the seven deadly sins. Let's discuss this beautiful masterpiece that went very wrong where it should have been wonderful.
And I wanted the egotistical bastards to be a part of the group. I thought that we could like be some type of, there could be a working relationship where it wasn't like, it would be as if two different heel groups in New Japan who just didn't fight each other. And it would team up sometimes, but they had similar end goals. And they didn't bother us, we didn't bother them. And it turned into something else. It turned into something really goofy. And yeah, I guess Levi was the one who came up with that.
Okay. Okay. Let me explain because I was there for the entire thing. All right, so at this point, Ego was getting hot because I just joined, and you know we were already getting buzz as a tag team.
You're welcome, egotistical bastard.
Oh yeah. They won't admit that. Well, Carol won't. But
Dirty.
so we're getting buzz. So it was like, okay, the hottest tag team and the hottest faction at the time, let's team up and see what could happen. So the initial thing was, we team up for a little bit, see what happens, see how it works, and, we'll branch off. So we became the Seven Deadly Sins. And, people go, ooh, that's kind of cool. And then our good friend Levi, okay, you're a good friend Levi, I don't think he likes it very much, decided to make the 10 Commandments. So it was 10-on-7. Quite fair, in my opinion. Quite fair. And, well, let's just say it wasn't awful, but it could have been a lot more than what it was.
And the blow off to it at Anniversary 3, Night 3, just, it was not what I was hoping. Amazing Punk was not supposed to be involved in that spot that he was in. Like, nothing against Amazing Punk, but I mean, I think it's almost comedically realistic that a villain like the character I was playing at that point would have overlooked someone like an Amazing Punk to the point where at the last possible moment he ends up being the thing that I forgot about that ends up ruining the entire match and my title run. Because I knew I was going to be losing it to Patriot, but I believe it was supposed to be Carl Jams that came back and did that. But things happen. I just wish that there was more time that was given to it, because it could have been a lot more fleshed out, and instead it just ended up being something that kind of just happened. and you,
And this is
if
very
anybody knows
disappointing.
me, yeah, if anybody knows me, I don't like things that just happen when it comes to anything to do with um storylines, character development. Nah, like, but that's I'm picky like that, and that's also kind of been why I've gotten to certain points. I guess I don't know.
Now, like I said, like it also didn't help that the other side didn't have that many people that were either doing work or were very good whatsoever. So like it didn't feel like there was a war. It just felt like okay, these two groups are fighting, and that was it. So it was a bit of a letdown. But besides that, you had a wonderful world title reign. With that being said, how big your penis?
Um,
Is it as big as an iPhone?
well, which iPhone? Don't they make different
I don't
ones
know
now?
because Johnny told me his is as big as an iPhone.
Oh, I
So
don't.
I think,
Hang on one second here. I'm putting my Note 5 near my crotchal region. Jay, this is the closest you're ever going to get to my dick.
oh, you see that now.
Um, Let me see. It's bigger. It's a bit bigger than my Note 5.
Is it
I'm
erect? Is it erect?
No, not right now. I wouldn't be able to talk to you right now because I'd be very I get very focused.
Oh, okay,
Right.
okay, okay.
Yeah, I'd say about solid 7. Like, I'm sure it's a little bit more, but we've all measured it. We've all measured our shit before.
We have.
It's
we have.
depending on how like into it I am. Yeah, it's a little bit over 7.
Uh,
So anybody who has Googled like what the average size or length is for a guy, man, I was so happy because I was looking at porn and I was like, oh man, like what's wrong with me? But then I realized like one, I have big hands, and two, I'm still bigger than the average man. So that's fantastic.
That's a wonderful thing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you were expecting a legit answer, but now you all know the size of my penis.
Hey, hey,
Believe
hey, hey.
inch and a half, 2
Even
inches.
if you weren't well equipped, it's not about the size of the boat. It's the motion in the ocean.
That's true. But if you don't have solid motion and you don't know how to eat pussy, um, you're fucked. You're fucked.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Speaking of eating pussy, believe it or not, but A.G. Young has eaten out a girl on her period.
All right. I eat ass. Like, good for him.
A.G. does not.
See, now that confuses me because guys who love to eat pussy, but then they'll have, I don't know, like an inch below, right?
Uh,
And it's not like the girl's ass is not going to be clean either. Because if she's cleaned her pussy, she's cleaned her ass. Like, there's no way. Girls are just clean like that. So the fact that you're totally fine with shoving your mouth all over the stuff that was bleeding, but you're not cool with tonguing some booty hole, like, first of all, the people that don't do that and think it's all gross all the time, let me tell you, I'm not going to be doing that to a chick if she just got out of the gym or some shit like that.
I would.
I mean, that's, person to person. But at the same time, if she's clean, you bet your fucking bottom dollar, no pun intended, I am going to be going all in on the booty. But that's just me.
Now you see, if AJ hears this, he's gonna kill me. He really is, because I may have or may have not exaggerate that story. But either way, now you all know that AJ Young's a bit of a whore. Now that being said, your world title on COH,
Yeah.
honestly one of the best world titles in my opinion.
Shit, thank you.
Is it safe to say it's the highlight of your career?
Yeah, I was really happy with how like the majority of that entire run went because the story of me getting to that point was one of the bigger storylines in COH before I got the title. And then my title run after that point wasn't centrally focused on just me. And that was the point. I didn't want everything to be all about me, even though character-wise, obviously, I would say something different. That's really not... There's no successful show with just one person at the top. So I wanted to make sure, however long my run was, that there were going to be people after that could take that spot. And I want to make sure it was someone... Like Patriot... I don't think anybody really thought that guy, the character itself, could have been a champion like that or have a run like that. We made it happen. I'm really proud about it because it worked. It wasn't stupid. It wasn't over the top. It was very straightforward. Same thing goes with the story I had with Caleb. Same thing goes with how the six-man title match, Anniversary Night 1, the Hell in a Cell. I have quite a track record of some really amazing people I've beaten. So, and I don't take that for granted. I'd say I have one of the best track records in terms of overall, like, feuds or wins and losses and stuff like that. I'd say one of the only people that probably has a better one is Goonie, and that's because of longevity. He's just been around for longer. If I didn't take a break, I'd probably be right up there with him at this point. But I had to. It was just I was not feeling it, I guess, at that point. And personal life was also taking a different turn. So I needed to take a break. And it just felt right. Because I felt like if I was giving... People wanted to see me more. People wanted to see me keep showing up and cutting promos and stuff like that. But it was one of those things where if we kept on getting CM Punk for as long as we did during his Summer of Punk, it wouldn't have been as effective. You feel me?
Yeah, true. Now you're in like multiple federations. AWF. You were in YWF, but that didn't last very long.
Yeah, that's on them.
In AWF, you weren't Alex Enterprise. You were someone else. You want to explain that?
I don't really have that good of an explanation, to be honest.
It's one of the more unique characters I've seen in Claw. So try your best to explain it.
Honestly, I hardly even remember it. And it's no offense. It's just I probably did my best to shut it out of my mind.
You were part of a tag team. I forgot what they're called. You were part of a tag with Steve, and I think it was like the White. I forgot what it was called. I forgot what it's called. But you were white guys, and I think like you weren't racist. But I forgot what it was. But it was a weird gimmick. I don't know who thought of it. I think it was you guys, and you wanted to giggles. But it was such a weird, funny gimmick. I just remember I see you guys coming out during the Uso fucking entrance, the little stop whatever, and I'm just thinking to myself, this is phenomenal. This is hilarious.
That's the type of stuff that I probably was thinking about doing something like that back in my federation, YLLWA, because it was funny. Like, I do remember having fun with it, and to be honest, when you're doing such a serious character like Alex Enterprise, sometimes you fucking need to have fun. That's something I miss. I'd probably like to do that more in the future, but I also want to try and add some funny elements to Alex Enterprise. I don't want it to be just this sick, sadistic, evil person all the time. Uh, and that's actually something I'm planning on doing more in the future. There's going to be some different stuff that I want to be doing in COH specifically, most definitely.
Yeah. Now your stint in YWF, your very very short, forgettable stint that only I remember. What was the original plan, or did you forget that too?
Um, Let me see. I remember YWF. I feuded with Seth McInerney, and the last thing I remember was that there were going to be plans with me and Steve's character to team up. I mean, I just remember it being a place where I felt like I was talking to a wall. Like, Travis has always been someone where if you need an explanation, he'll give it to you. If you come in with ideas, he'll let you know which ones he likes and doesn't like. If something doesn't get used or something doesn't get done, he'll tell you why. It's not just going to be like, very rarely with Travis have I been in a situation where I came to him with some ideas and then he was like, all right, cool, that all sounds dope. And then I go and I see the show where the ideas are supposed to go down, and then it's something else completely. Like, but that's how it was almost every time with YWF. And I had issues with both, who was it? Marco
and Chronic. Not the Chronic. We know now a different Chronic.
Yeah. And not that I had issues with them as people. I met them in person. They're fun as hell. They're good people. But as far as like my look and my attire, it was like that was the first thing I had a problem with, because everybody knows the Alex Enterprise look. There's nothing really too different about it except for color schemes. And I remember, like, it was something else completely when I first came into that show. And I asked Chronic, like, what the fuck are you doing with me, dude? Like, what is this? Who is this guy? And he came up with some, like, oh, man, I was just trying to do something different. I was trying to do something, make it my own. Man, do that to your own character, though. Like, don't do that to somebody else. If somebody wants to get mad specific and, like, you know, make my hair color 71 or, you know, that type of bullshit, because that used to be a thing where people would give fucking running lists of all the different specifics. We don't need to do that anymore. Thank goodness. Thanks to the created stuff and the downloadables. But, dude, when I say that it didn't look like me, it looked like Hot Topic me.
Hot Topic.
It looked like me who was like My Chemical Romance 2000, mid-2000s emo Alex Enterprise. Best way I can describe it. Outside of that, had a run with Amir. That was whatever. I don't know. I just didn't feel like anything mattered.
No,
best way.
It was huge in the sense that you showed up right after Ultimate Glory. Right after I think your retirement speech, because you were gone from COH, but you were in you were still in AWF, you were still in YDUF, so you had this small schedule going on, and you just debuted it and were like, oh, that's cool, but I'm assuming this talk with you debuting happened way before the retirement speech, odd stuff. I'm guessing.
Yeah. It did. It was, it was, I mean, I remember I wanted to try and make sure that I was doing something, like some light work I ended up really liking my time in AWF more than anything, actually, and that's why I was still around in it. The Call All Star stuff, all that. I was interested in doing all those things, and that was sort of the idea when I left COH was that I was going to go and do some other shit, but I wasn't going to be doing it as heavily as I was in COH. I knew that I wanted to try and keep my foot in the door somewhat, but since COH was the place that I really like made my name, so to speak, I I felt like it wouldn't make sense for me to do a smaller schedule in COH as well as all these other places. I had to be gone from COH. So I made that with the promo in mind, and or I did that in the promo with all that stuff in mind. And then after that, eventually I had a feeling I would return. I just didn't know when. Finally, the bug bit me again, and I wanted to come back, and now I guess here we are today.
Now, your feud with M accuracy or Macuracy, as some people call him. What are your thoughts on that?
It was. I always feel like we could do more, and it's not to say that our feud was bad. I really enjoyed it. I just felt like we could have done more in terms of the turn and like the back and forth of it. There wasn't as much time to develop it as I would have liked. People didn't necessarily see that turn coming, I guess, but people also probably didn't expect me to lose the way I did either, too. But that was the only way out that I saw, was like, it had to be Steve. It couldn't have been anybody else. And I just needed to leave at that point. So timing is something that I'll always look back on with that, but timing was also mostly my thing, because I was the one that wanted to try and have it go down that way. I came to Steve about it, and he made it happen. But it was... I have a feeling like if we ever go back to that again someday, we'll be able to do a lot better with it. But for what it was worth, it was pretty cool.
What are your thoughts on your recent run with Scottwell Adams?
It was another situation where I felt like there could have been more time given to it. We had a fantastic back and forth segment. It was a talk show with Steve as the moderator, like the Miz, essentially, of that situation. And me and Scott had a back and forth, and Steve would drop in some stuff every now and then. It told the story of everything so perfectly. There was some stuff that was said in it that, heat of the moment, came up with it on the fly, and nobody looked worse from it, and it all just kind of came to a head, and it was never used. So that was the most disappointing thing about our storyline, was that there wasn't as much time or effort put into it as some of the other feuds on the show. It could have been a match and a feud up there with something like Daniel Mars, Accuracy, Sean, and Ryan, or any of those, but it wasn't. And it was kind of on us, kind of on Travis, kind of on timing. But it's over with. And Scott got the rub, which is all I really wanted.
Oh, that's good. Okay, now, let's go to fan questions, shall we? Because people did send questions, and I forgot all about that, like always. Let's see. First question: on a scale of 1 to Brandon Wolf, how acceptable is cheating?
In a match, uh, cheating is very acceptable because you're trying to win. You're not trying to make people like you. Um, if you're not cheating, you're not trying. But if outside of a wrestling match, cheating is very damaging, and you shouldn't do that. You should be adult enough to have a conversation and tell people that you feel like you should break apart, because that way, that's a karma thing. I don't know if any of you youngsters out there have dealt with being cheated on or cheating, but I can attest to you that if you cheat with someone and you get into a relationship with that person who cheated on someone with you, you're going to get cheated on. That's how it works. So don't get into a relationship with someone who cheats on someone else with you. Don't do that. You either get into a relationship with them or you just, you get some quick nuts off, and that's all. But don't get in a relationship with that person when you cheat. Also, don't, another pro tip, don't cheat with someone who has a boyfriend that you know is crazy as fuck. Because otherwise, you're going to wake up in the middle of a girl's bedroom and see a camera recording you in the fucking AC vent above the bed.
Wow.
And that's a fact, Jack.
Oh, well, look at that. Life Lessons by Alex InHerSides. Great man. A impression by one Preston Pierce. I have a question. You do. Who are you?
Who
are you?
I mean, I'm also a man with a plan, just like Brian Kendrick. I have "the" in my name, just like Brian Kendrick does. And
you wear a jacket like Brian Kendrick does.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you look at that, so you finally fucking admitted, after all these years, you finally fucking admitted that you, sir, are the bastard son of the Brian Kendrick.
I am, but I've also held more titles and been in more eventful feuds and
was this called? Is this called for? Is this really called for? Leave Brian Kendrick alone.
Nothing to, no offense against Brian.
No offense.
But it's just, I've done more in the virtual call world than he has in his entire WWE career.
But, hey, Brian, my fake career means more than your real career. How do you feel about that? Oh, poor Brian Kendrick. He can't seem to get a break. Making fun of a man while he's injured. How do you feel about yourself?
Not injured.
Hey, I have you know that Brian Kendrick was once spanking in ROH. That's all I know of him from. But he was spanky, damn it.
So I just gotta confirm, he was named after masturbation, right?
I have no clue. All I know that his name was Spanky, and he ran with that everywhere he went. Japan, Mexico, he was just Spanky.
I feel like that has something to do with... I feel like that's him being, like, he got caught masturbating or something at a live show, and he got nicknamed Spanky after that, because he would just spank it wherever he was at, and he turned that into a wrestling moniker.
Alright, a question by GMR. Seeing as you mentioned before some of the new guys that need work on their promos, who out of everyone who came to COH in Season 5 are good at their promos? They're spelled wrong, by the way, GMR. You can pick more than one. P.S. Holy cow, Jay. This is fast. It wasn't that long ago you finished the episode with Johnny Thunder. So, yeah, you're who do you think good so far? The new guys who are good so far, season 5.
Honestly, dude, you would have to tell me because I don't know who half the new people are compared to. Because I don't know if there are some people that have actually come back and just changed their character and their name. You feel me?
So you heard it here, folks. You heard it here, folks. Alex Enterprise thinks you suck. And I agree. You people absolutely suck.
I don't necessarily think that you all suck.
He thinks that you people should probably go fuck yourself, and I agree. Especially you, AJ Young, you piece of crap.
Oh, sure. AJ Young's not new though.
Well, he's a whore, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, but there are a lot of new guys. GMR is one of them that you should check out. Another one is a man I love very much, Adam Oliver, or Hunky Oliver, as I call him. Party Man's pretty good. Ryan Carroll's awful. Who else? There are other people that I just don't want to name right now because I'm trying to interview you because they're not important. Now, next question is by a guy named Alex Moshchenko. I feel like the hardest thought in my class right now. Your thoughts on this thought?
He sounds sexy.
But he has the word mosh as in mosh pit, so he condones violence, probably. God damn.
I mean, hey, some people are into the rough shit.
And just by looking at him, he has a beard, and he looks just like that guy from Vikings. I forgot his name.
Which one?
The main character.
Oh, yo, I mean, if he looks like the main character, then that means he's going to live.
He's going to live.
So that's automatically sexy.
His family's dead. Okay, now Sean Walsh, the awful, disgusting human being that we both know.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a fun question that I know Travis loves so much to hear about. Thoughts on the end of Ultimate Glory?
I mean, what hasn't already been said about it? Like, Travis gets it at this point. I feel bad. Like, if I were Nitro, I would have thrown a lot more of a fit than he probably did. Because I'm so, like, close to the chest about my storylines and my feuds and stuff like that. If you're going to throw some shit in there at the end of the fucking pay-per-view, like, this is the equivalent of, like, WrestleMania ending with, you know, some fucking triumphant babyface winning his first major title in the company, and then out of nowhere, like, I don't know, the fucking who would be a nice little equivalent? It would be like if James Storm showed up at the end of WrestleMania and like Daniel Bryan is celebrating, and then somebody tries to hit that Money in the Bank on him, and then James Storm debuts out of nowhere, and most of the people that are attending wouldn't know. Like, some of the people that would know it's James Storm are like, oh shit, it's James Storm, but why is he coming out right now? Like, what's going on here? Like, there would be a lot more confusion than there would be excitement, even from the people that know who the person is. And I like James Storm, by the way, so that's not a discredit to Smokey. But, yeah, it's just, why? Like,
the funny part was when me and the guys asked Travis, why'd you do it? Because we thought it was, like everyone knows, we thought it was pretty stupid, right? And he told us, like, he didn't really tell us why, like, per se, but he did say that he got a positive feedback from it, which he later revealed he was lying about. So, to this day, to this day, we don't know why he did it. It's like, I think he wanted shock value, but it was so, like, that awful. Oh my god. I love Travis, I really do. But he does shit like this, and it's like, oh, come on, man, really? Oh my god. So that's one thing.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well,
Another question by Shawnee Boy. Thoughts on his initial return to COH with Patriot, and what he felt should have happened.
um, when I first came back to COH, there was an agreement, or at least not an agreement, I should say. There was an idea of how I was supposed to look coming back. Not appearance wise, but like where I was at in the company. I was supposed to have partial control of the company. Like that was one of the main things I was talking about, because there's no point in, I felt like, at least there's no point in a wrestler coming back and saying that they're going to change everything, or they're just going to shit on everybody's parade, and do all these crazy things if they only are just a wrestler. They need to have some type of power role, because otherwise, if it's just a wrestler, unless you're somebody like a Brock Lesnar type, where it's like you could just you eat people in the ring, you gotta destroy this guy if you really want to try and fight him. Which is not how my character works. There needed to be something that I had over the roster, and that wasn't really clearly explained or panned out the way I wanted it to. Which also, I feel like hurt my return and my push, because I was hyping it up more than it was. There was a lot more sizzle than there was steak. To give it an analogy. Also, on top of that, I had no idea how badly Patriot's character was being looked at the time, because me showing up and returning with him, of all people, back when Ray was still in the company, it wasn't the first person I should have gone after was Ray. Like, he should have been my immediate feud, like, everything should have been him, and it wasn't, and that ended up hurting things. So because that went down the way it did, I can't change it, shit happens. That hurting my return more than anything else. I'm still me. I'm still going to be able to find my footing. I'm too good not to be able to find my footing at this point. I've been around it for too long, and I know what to do. But I'd say that the initial run and the initial return was not up to my liking, was not up to my standards. And anybody that knows me enough knows that like, I do set myself up for those types of standards. I have that type of stuff set up for myself, because that's just, I don't like to half-ass something. So, it was not as bad as it could have been, but it certainly could have been a lot better.
All right, another question from Sean. He said like 20 questions over here. Alex, you're so handsome and attractive. I've always had this strong feeling for you. I just want to know, do you feel the same way back?
That was Sean that said that?
Yes, you can't see it, only I could.
That's nice.
You're not gonna answer him?
I mean, thanks.
And he sent a bunch of kissy emojis to you, so that's one thing. Now some of you may say that I made that question up to make Sean look bad, but Sean's my friend. Why would I do that? Thoughts on facing, again from Sean, thoughts on facing Ray Geddes at Call All Stars 10?
That's going to be, like, it's going to be everything I wanted the feud to be in COH, because I know that couldn't happen in COH, but it needs to happen. It needs to. And we're clashing personalities. We disagree on some things respectfully. We're not always arguing or anything like that. But I know for a fact that if we wanted to turn our personalities up to 10 the way that we do, we would have some real chemistry that has not really yet been tapped into. I like it when people make me better when I'm trying to cut a promo, because no offense to anybody, but nowadays trying to find somebody that puts up a challenge with me promo-wise is hard. So to have to not try and elevate somebody in that way and not have to worry about that is going to be fantastic. I just know for a fact that whenever the match goes down, it's going to be everything people have wanted it to be. And I don't care where it is on the card. I don't care if there's titles on the line or anything like that. Me and him need to have a straight-up one-on-one match. And it's going to kick some major ass. It's definitely going to kick some major ass. And that's all I want. That's all I want. I want CM Punk versus Steve Austin. Like, I want that. What we'll never be able to get in real life, I want to try and be able to bring that to the call world.
Good guy, Alex. Good guy, Alex. Last question from Sean. Could the Alex Enterprise ever be a face character? If so, who would be the perfect heel to work with?
Yes. And that's actually a plan for me to not necessarily be face, because here's the thing. There's a certain extent of shittiness as a person that you go into. It's like Chris Jericho being a face after his run as a heel in 2008. Like, he's never going to be able to be a straight up face anymore. He can't. You'll love him because it's Jericho, but he's still kind of an asshole. Like, he's never going to be able to break away from that. So that's something I've been interested in as of lately. I've been wanting to try and see where I could take that more and more in the future and add some more comical, like, sense of humor side to it. And I wanted to reflect a little bit of my life. I've been undergoing a lot of a transformation in my personal life over the past year or two. And I've been wanting to try and incorporate that into my character because the Alex Enterprise character was based off of myself in the first place. So I think in that regard, it would be interesting to see me go through a process of, like, forgiveness and understanding and, like, yes, I've done some really fucking terrible things.
Understatement. You technically killed a black man at age young, and you might have raped Caleb Blair. Might have. We haven't confirmed that yet, but we didn't see much.
Right, yeah.
We gotta talk about that too, about that wonderful promo, by the way, because I heard a lot of the backstage stuff went through it. But yeah, continue.
I mean, more than anything else, the one thing that, I mean, I burned a picture of a man's recently deceased father to try and get him to have a match against me. Like, and I really did that. That wasn't like a piss on the ashes thing where it's like, oh, well, you know it's not really real. No, that was really Nate's father. Yes, I really burned that thing. I made sure about it with Nate before I did it, but yes, I really did that stuff. That's actually, like, morally speaking, the one thing I could say I probably regret, but that's also just because, man, that's just shitty. You know what I mean? Like, that's just shitty. Why, dude?
Okay. Before now, Okay, of course you agree with Nate. Now, who came up with it? Like, whose idea was it to go with that? Because was it your idea or was it like Nate's idea? Like, was it a both party thing to burn the picture? What was it?
I think it was my idea, and I came to him with it because it was an idea that was like, oh wow, this is really, oof. I don't know if I should. Let me ask. Like, and that was the hardest part, was to just come to him and ask him that, because I didn't know what his response would be. He could have very easily have, like, cussed me out over it, blocked me, whatever. And he didn't. I was coming to him with respect. Like, I told him if he didn't even want me to bring it up, that I wouldn't. But in storyline, in character, someone this shitty as the person I was portraying would do something like that. So it was just one of those things where it was like, well, I don't need to do this, but here's the idea, you tell me what you think. The only unfortunate thing was that Nate fell off the map around that time. So I wasn't able to get the storyline out of him and the back and forth out of him that I wanted. Nate wasn't able to, I think, cut a promo or send a promo in for the moment when I did that. So Travis had to just splice up video of Nate's caw in the ring, heated, angry as hell over what I just did. And that was his response. That was literally the only response to me burning his father's photos. So it just literally looked like he was in the ring, like, yeah, come on, well, let's go. And that was it. And it was all right. The moment itself was the video, the promo that I did. That was pretty fucking crazy. That was one of the craziest moments of the year. And that was a year full of pretty crazy moments. So, yeah. Wow.
Is this true that you got Peter Gilmore fired?
Who?
Peter Gilmore.
No. I don't even remember how that went down.
Because you told me you had a contest with him, and like cutting a promo, and he lost. And he was fired apparently. He came to fight for multiple reasons. We know Peter Gilmore, and we know how he is, so we could have known what he could have anything really to get fired. But yeah, do you remember what it was? Like
I don't. Like, it doesn't surprise me though. Like, the fact that he would get let go doesn't surprise me, no matter how you put it. Like, even if I did have something to do with it, and I don't remember. Like, it doesn't sound like me to try and actively get somebody to get fired, because even when I have thought about that, they've already gotten fired. That'd be someone like a Sonny or some shit like that. But no, in his situation, I think he was really annoying Travis. Like, really annoying Travis. And Travis just could not keep going with that. And I understand. Surprisingly, I haven't talked to him, and I don't remember, but I talked with Garnett Court, and I apologized to him, like, personally, about anything that I might have said that was hurtful to him. Because Garnett Court, people can shit on Gilmore all they want, but Garnett Court was clearly somebody who was just kind of going along, and obviously somebody with a disability. So in those types of situations, I don't know, it was something personal with me where I just couldn't let that shit slide, even if it was like in character stuff. And he forgave me, and we're cool. I have not. Garnett Court has even liked some of my comments on fucking Caw Shoot now. I don't know, like, where he's at or what he's doing, but yeah, as far as like one half of the or Morta. Uh,
Let the blood
he's
flow.
a-okay.
Let the blood
Peter
flow.
Gilmore though, man, is he still living in a basement or something?
I don't know. All I know is that it's gonna sound very cold to me, but knowing what I know of him and all the awful things he's done, let's just say his death will not be the saddest day in my life whatsoever. That's all I know.
Well, well then.
Oh, trust me. I could go on and on about that man, what the awful thing he's done. But this is a happy podcast to an extent. Now we have just like 4 more questions. God damn it. Also, you didn't answer who would you face as a face and who would be the heel. You didn't say who it was.
Sorry. Good question. Um, hmm. AJ Young.
Mm, nice.
Because I pitched the idea to him and he's down for it. A older sort of like veteran status guy who is coming to terms with his past shittiness, trying to turn a new leaf, and here is one of the guys who's like the face, quote unquote, of the younger, newer generation who came up after my time had, quote unquote, passed. And here he is to sort of like spit in the face of a legacy or somebody else's past time and what they've done for the company, whatever. Because fuck that shit, you know? Speaking from AJ Young's character standpoint, fuck you. All you've been doing is some horrible shit. Now you want to try and turn the other cheek and be some type of nice guy right now? Man, fuck all that nonsense. Fuck the clique that you came from. Fuck your generation.
Fuck
Fuck all.
XL.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck the clique you claim. All that. So speaking from that, because I can see that was me. That was who I was coming up. So I could see that from an AJ Young perspective of as the heel being like, not only does he say fuck that old generation, he's not trying to put over the new guys. He's trying to just put over himself because he wants to be like on his Killmonger shit as the king of his own group. And he does not want to have anybody else try and be an equal or anything like that. They're all under him, which obviously that would make some people upset as well. And potentially garner some sympathy for me, which would be really hard to do. I think AJ is one of the few people who could probably do that. If not AJ, I would say Mason, potentially, because Mason is... I hope he goes down the route that we talked about as champion on Slam, which is just like, it doesn't matter. Your golden cows don't matter. It doesn't matter if you wanted somebody else to win or what. I'm champion. I'm going to destroy anybody else who comes up and tries to take the title from me. Whether they've been around in COH for however long, or they've been champion before, I will eat them and spit out their guts. Try it.
Yummy. Alright, now a question from one John Blackos. When is the Alex Enterprise becoming Alex Company?
The second you start paying me.
Another question from GMR. What was your favorite rivalry in Call that you were a part of?
I'd still say to this day, the rivalry between the Accurate Enterprise and NATO, Zane LaFontaine especially, myself and Zane LaFontaine, either that or my feud with Patriot. and Caleb, because those kind of went hand in hand. They were like flip sides of the coin. But yeah, those three would be like my in no particular order.
All right, now I'm in another post like a few days ago on the 11th about this interview, and Scott asked, "Did it hurt?"
Oh, the multiple power bombs. Actually, like after a certain, like the second and third power bomb that he gave to me, um, at Ultimate Glory when I was watching our match, I flinched. My body flinched because it was like.
Well, power bombs don't usually feel nice, you know. Power bombs usually hurt.
They don't. And when I saw them, like the thing that fucks with me the most is I've seen those types of power bombs in real life. Kevin Owens he just basically murdered Shane McMahon last night with those same types of power bombs. And no, like just no. I like to. Those aren't called power bombs. Those are called no bombs because you don't want to take those.
Well, it's hard to say that you kind of deserved it in a sense.
Oh, I 100% deserved it. Like, there's no question there. I'm not going to argue with anybody else.
He didn't have he didn't do it just for the hell of it, you know. I'm pretty sure he was a little annoyed by you.
Yeah, no, definitely. As far as any of that goes, I would say I had it coming, 100%.
Yes,
but it man, it still hurt to watch.
Now, our good friend Johnny Thunder, also known as John Krauser, asked, "Are you excited to listen to Jake Paul with me in New Orleans?"
I have a feeling he's really going to try and play him while I'm around, and I'm probably going to have to sit down and explain to him, like, you know what he's done, right?
You know how Johnny Thunder is well aware of this. You know that.
I hope so. I hope he is. Because damn, my guy.
I'm sorry. That was from my phone. I apologize.
Man, Jay, come on, dude. I understand that it's every day, bro, with the Disney Channel flow, and you know he's selling some new merch, and it's like it's going, man. That shit is selling like a god church, but no.
Yes. You know what? I'll help Jonathan around. I'll send him a few songs that he can play while you're in New Orleans with him, and hopefully you have a wonderful time in New Orleans while blasting Jake Paul.
I feel like we'll be assaulted, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. I would assault myself. Like if somebody was starting to beat up me and Johnny for listening to Jake Paul, I would start helping the people beat us up by punching myself and Johnny.
You caused this to us.
100%.
So Johnny, if you're listening, buddy, Alex is so pumped right now for Jake Paul in New Orleans. He really is. All right, so let's talk about that promo where you raped Chris.
Yeah, sure.
Now, in that promo, how do you not get a noise complaint at all? Because
we did.
You did. Well, I didn't hear that part.
Yeah, we did. No, we did. I think it was the only time in our history, because it's all like every single promo that you see in a hotel, when it's down in Florida, is at the same hotel. There's not a different hotel. It's always the same fucking La Quinta.
Oh my! Oh, you were there in New Jersey, La Quinta.
No, 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 not in Jersey.
No, no, no. We were there. Me and the guys were there in La Quinta. Who booked it? Was it Sean? Or was Sean not there at the time?
I think Sean was recording.
Uh, uh, why is he always picking the fucking La Quinta? Continue.
Honestly, yeah, they're affordable, man. Anyways, um, that was I think the only time that we've ever gotten a noise complaint out of all like the beatdowns and the promos that we've cut inside the rooms. I think that was the only time when we had someone call us for a noise complaint, which that shit was hilarious because I mean we deserved it, but at the same time, I don't know. I had I got a laugh out of it just because
you raped him. You raped him.
He had it coming though.
You still raped him, though.
He had I mean, he knew what he was getting into when he was wearing that stuff.
You broke into his hotel room.
Oh, I mean, yeah, good point. You got me there.
Oh my god. But yeah.
Remember though, wait a second, hang on. Remember when he broke into the hotel room by coming out of a broom closet?
Oh, he came out the closet, yes.
Do you remember, like, there are so many jokes to be made with that, but the fact that, like, me and Patriot are there about to destroy Travis, trying to make him sign a contract. You can see Steve's girlfriend off and like you can see her leg and shit in the left corner of the camera because we couldn't have her sitting on the bed closest to us, I guess. I don't know why we didn't think farther ahead on that. And then Chris bursts through this broom closet when we're about to beat him up, when we're about to beat up Travis. And I remember, I think it was Patriot who asked, it was Patriot or Travis who asked him where he, like, why he was hiding there, what he was doing in there. And Kale was just like, he just brushed it off. And that shit was fucking hilarious. Like, to not break character in that moment was one of the hardest I've ever had to do because he was literally, he could have been in there for hours just waiting.
Just in case, just in case.
And like, what did he bring, like, snacks or something? Like, Travis didn't know that he was in there. None of us knew that he was in there. Like, I don't know. I don't know how that
maybe
shit
he couldn't afford a hotel room, right? So he broke into Travis's and sleeps in the closet.
I mean, that'd be a really cheap way of living.
I mean, I would do that. It's not legal, but it's free. Uncomfortable, yes, but you will get sleep, and you are sheltered from the rain.
Oh yeah, of course.
So, oh, sorry, I'm coughing up right now, my lungs. What else do I want to talk about? I can't think of anything else. I really can't. So sadly, I guess this is the end. We end this show with Alex InHerSides admitting that he raped Caleb Blair. So with that being said, boys and girls,
hang on 1 second. Actually, I just want to make sure everybody understands this. He enjoyed every second. So, like, you can say whatever you want, but it was it was just one of those situations. Maybe it's a fantasy, some people are into that.
So
but
maybe
we'll talk about
maybe
that.
That's why he came with the closet.
We'll talk about that on another episode. And we'll title it Caleb's Cheek Meat.
Well then, so with that being said, boys and girls, I hope you had a wonderful time listening, like I had a wonderful time talking to Alex. So, boys and girls, good night. good evening, good luck, and whatever the fuck. What else? Alex, plug your shit.
I mean, as far as plugs go, music. Let's talk about music. SoundCloud.com/The Alex Enterprise, all one word. SoundCloud.com/New Illuminati. That's the group I'm in. It's spelled NULUMINI. No, that's not it. You'll figure it out. Just Illuminati, but new instead of. You know the fucking word.
So you plug your shit. You can't even spell it right.
Spelling are for people that teach, and I'm here to just drop fire bars.
So really? So how about right now? Spit a cute little freestyle for us.
Man, I don't freestyle. I do paid style.
Oh, you paid style. Okay. Yeah, I'm not paying you.
I know you're not, you cheap whore.
Yeah.
Facebook.com/The Alex Enterprise. Instagram, The Alex Enterprise. I'm keeping everything easy to remember as far as that shit goes. Who knew that I would actually turn a fucking wrestling character name into my actual stage name?
Macho Man did that too.
That's true, actually. I wish I could collaborate with him, but
he's dead. Yeah, he's dead. He can't do that. So, boys and girls, have fun.